Coming up on Life on the Water, Brandon goes under the wake for a one-on-one lesson in freediving with expert spear fisherman Ed Martin and to test out some of his custom spear guns.
When I get in the water, I don't think about my mortgage, I don't think about a car payment, I think about the next 30 seconds of my life. And so few people get to be in the moment in today's society.
Then Brandon meets up with Captain Chris Ware in search of swordfish.
You got one, buddy.
Got him.
Got him.
Spears and swords, old friends and new. And it all starts now. West Marine's Life on the Water, presented by Costa Custom Boats. It's a new day in Hawks Cay. Brandon Simmons is preparing to head out on the water, but today is a little different than most. Instead of fishing from his Costa Custom boat, he's getting a one-on-one lesson in freediving from Ed Martin, owner of Killshot Spear Guns.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing really well.
Good, man.
So, nice to see you.
Nice to see you again. Yeah. It's awesome.
Cool.
What are we doing today, man?
I think we're going to do a little spearing.
Yeah?
So
Cool.
And the weather's looking really nice.
Yeah.
You know, we got nice, flat, calm
Yeah,
water.
let me grab that for you.
Thank you very much.
Cool, man. Yeah, we got a nice day, and
Good.
I think we'll go do some spear fishing. I'd love to, work on a couple techniques, see if I can get down a little deeper today.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, you're the master when it comes to that, so.
I'm sure we can get you down there a little bit deeper today.
Perfect, man. What do you think we'll get into today? Some snappers?
We'll definitely find some mangroves. I mean,
mangroves?
they're all over the place.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll roll into some muttons. They've been around. Cabarrus, turtle right there.
Nice.
That's always a good sign.
That's a good sign. Where there's turtles, there's fish.
Hey, turtles in the first 5 minutes. I'm into it.
Me too, man. Well, let's go hit the sandbox.
All right, we're off.
I have been spearfishing now for probably, 8 or 9 years. I wouldn't say, I'm an avid spear fisherman. I go out and I spearfish with my buddies. A lot of my friends are, some of the best spear fishermen that I've ever seen or been around. Oh yeah, marking fish. I love doing anything on the water. So, those days that I get to go spearfishing and stuff like that, it's a good change of pace, and it's also really fun because it's, it's very similar to fishing, except you're not on the boat. You're jumping in, you're in the ocean. Yeah, man, you got any tips on how I can hold my breath a little longer?
You want to take basically a nice, normal breath, but you want to breathe with your diaphragm.
Okay.
So instead of breathing with your chest, and most of us breathe with just the top third of our lungs.
Right.
So what we want to do is we want to use that diaphragm. So when you inhale, you want the stomach to move. But when you go to take your final breath, you're going to try to fill 3 different compartments. All right, so we're going to fill the diaphragm first, then we're going to fill the chest, and then we're going to kind of roll our shoulders to kind of lengthen all that, and then take a final little gasp. And that will get you several more seconds. Sometimes, with professionals, it'll give them minutes,
right,
to make that
and
dive.
Several more seconds could be the difference between getting that grouper or not.
When we go spearfishing, surface conditions matter a lot. And having good visibility is phenomenal, which we have most of the time in the Keys. But good visibility is a double-edged sword. Good visibility means that those fish can see you from a very long way away. A little bit of bad visibility, you can get a lot closer to those fish, kind of sneak up on them. And oftentimes they don't know you're there, they come swimming out of the gloom and they wind up with a surprise.
Getting in the water for me is very relaxing. It's almost like a moment of meditation, just swimming around, taking in the scenery, just, it's quiet under the water, whereas there's so much life, but it's just very still and quiet and peaceful. You don't hear much other than just the waves and your thoughts.
When I get in the water, my brain kind of shuts off. I don't think about my mortgage, I don't think about a car payment, I think about the next 30 seconds of my life. And so few people get to be in the moment in today's society. We always have a cell phone ringing, we always have something going on. And for those few hours that I'm in the water, I'm doing what I want to do.
Well, that's fun. It was nice to get the gills wet.
Yeah, I saw a couple of mackerel on that.
Yeah.
We saw a yellowjack swim through, but that was about it.
Yeah.
So
let's keep moving, see if we can find a little more.
absolutely.
All right,
yeah,
cool.
we'll find a spot holding fish.
Let's do it, man. Oh, run down the reef a little bit.
West Marine's Life on the Water, presented by Costa Custom Boats, is brought to you by West Marine, boaters serving boaters. Costa Custom Boats. Pelican Kayaks. Smith Knives, the edge experts. Hawks Cay Resort, find what lures you. And by Simrad. Ed Martin isn't just an avid spear fisherman and freediver. He's also an artist and entrepreneur, designing, crafting, and selling spear guns through his company, Killshot. His love for underwater fishing goes all the way back to his days in high school on the Ivory Coast.
When I was about 16, I had a friend of my dad's that gave me a spear gun. And we lived on a river in West Africa at the time. And I went out, did all the things that you shouldn't do with that spear gun. And I just didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to handle them. And I had nobody that I could go to. I was talking to one of my dive buddies. He's like, oh yeah, building a spear gun is so easy. Just buy the parts, man, we'll make them. So I buy the parts and I come to him and I'm like, hey, I spent 400 bucks on parts. What do I do? He said, I don't know how to build a spear gun. So I had to sit down and had to figure out how to build a spear gun. And I made them for myself, I made them for a few of my friends. And one day I was looking at a bunch of spear guns and I talked to my wife and I'm like, why don't I just fire up a business making spear guns? Our business is clicking right along. And my customers that bought guns a couple of years ago have come back in and are buying them again, buying new ones. They're buying them for their kids. I really don't know how long I'll stay down here. You know, I'll stay until the Keys are underwater, probably. There's a lot of life down there.
There's a lot of life. I saw a couple short black groupers. I think I saw one close to keeper hogfish.
Yeah.
A bunch of mackerels.
Yeah, there were a couple of reds. There were a couple of muttons that rolled through.
Really?
Yeah, and they were definitely legal.
Oh, man.
But they were just too far
out of
away.
reach?
Yeah. They get a little spooky sometimes around the chum. So
Absolutely.
giving it a break like this for a few minutes, that might make them relax.
Right.
And hopefully they'll come back in.
Yeah, I'll get a quick drink, refresh a little bit, and see if something new swam up in the chum.
There's about 1 million of them back there.
I know, the snappers are going crazy. There is tons of life on the reefs out here. You know, we've got all kinds of exotic tropical fish on the reefs. We've got tons of barracudas, there's sharks swimming around, nurse sharks, pufferfish, stingrays. You know, there's just so much life out there. You've got so much going on around you, so many fish darting by, swimming around you. You know, you've got ballyhoos on the surface, bait swimming around, blue runners swimming around you. It's pretty fun and it's pretty incredible how, you know, these fish really do just blend in with the environment.
Every now and then, opportunity presents itself in the form of other things. And when I spearfish, I'm very much an opportunist. At the end of the day, I'm out there because I'm looking for dinner. Unfortunately, spearfishing isn't catch and release. And finding a lobster was kind of a lucky break. The funny thing is there was a nice stone crab in there as well that was, you know, wanting to wage war too. You know, so you gotta be real careful jamming your hands inside of rocks. Nice fish.
Yeah, man. You were checking out that barracuda. I looked down, he was just looking up at us under a rock.
Opportunity.
Opportunity presented itself. We took, you know, took a hold of it, man.
Yep.
Nice red grouper. Gonna be good for dinner, man.
Absolutely. One of my favorites.
Oh, absolutely. Let's throw him on some ice, get him chilling out.
Sounds good.
Cool, man.
All right, so this is all bridge rubble, right?
Yeah, man, this is from the old bridge they built there on Long Key, that pretty much 3-mile bridge. They knocked half of it down and just brought it out here and dumped it in various spots.
Yeah.
So it's really created an awesome habitat for a ton of fish. You know, we get a lot of groupers around here, muttons, barracudas love this area. There's tons of bait, little yellowtails. It's a really, really awesome spot.
Well, it's changed the way that we spearfish, because we used to drift the reef, you know, and sometimes it'd be long expanses with nothing.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, spur and groove, but we'd go to an area where there was a ledge, and then you get that upwelling, you know, from that current, and that's where all the fish are parked.
Right.
So once you realize that, you start looking for that, and you know, you can literally go from spot to spot to spot some days, and you're fishing productive areas. When I dive, I'm typically looking for structure. Fish tend to be very structure oriented. So I'm dropping down. I try to drop into the sand typically because I don't disturb anything there. And you're working your way around looking for a fish that is in that structure, next to that structure, or maybe coming around the corner.
So I was swimming around, you know, for a good while. You know, there was a barracuda that kept following me around, and I normally don't want to shoot a barracuda. A lot of people don't, just because they're no good to eat. But, you know, I'm somebody that I like to swordfish, and barracuda is great swordfish bait, and I knew we had some trips coming up to go sword fishing. So I took the shot, and it was a good one.
A lot of people measure a successful day on the water as how full their cooler is. The way I look at it, if we had a good time and everybody made it back safely, we had a great day on the water. That's really the key. Very simple.
Boat cleanliness is one of the biggest challenges you have on a boat. West Marine's got all the stuff that you need to keep everything nice and clean. Microfiber mitt makes it real easy to get those tight spots you can't really get with the brush. You've got 3 different types of brushes. You've got a hard brush, which is your white brush, helps get a lot of the stuff on the deck surface up. You've got a yellow brush, which is kind of in the middle of a hard brush and a real soft brush. The blue brush is really a good brush to use if you've got a fresh wax coating on your boat and you're not trying to take that fresh wax off. You want that wax to last as long as possible. These chamois are really good to get all the water off of your machines, your electronics, off of the metal on the boat. I also really like this boat soap. It's very environmentally friendly. Keeps everything nice and clean, and also keeps your bait safe and everything else safe in the water around the boat. All this stuff is stuff that I use every day on the charter boat just to keep everything nice and clean and ready to go for us the next day. And you can get it all right here at West Marine.
The only thing better than a day on the water in the Florida Keys is a day on the water with your best friend. Chris Ware and Brandon Simmons have known each other for over a decade, but because of their success as captains of different vessels, fishing together has become a rarity.
I never get to see you catch fish, bro.
I know, man. I'm a little rusty.
See if we can go catch a couple. We'll go catch some more bait. Got some nice grunts, a couple pinfish in there.
That ought to do the trick.
We ought to find them somewhere. We ought to get one.
I'd imagine
we get one. I think we'll get one on the airplane.
It's been a long time since I've got to catch one.
Well, then you're due. I first met Chris probably within the first month of me being down here in the Keys. It was really cool to me to get on a boat with him and learn from him, and we just hit it off, man. He's a good dude. He's become one of my best friends, and you know, I've honestly learned an incredible amount about fishing, the fishery, taking care of the fishery, you know, how to rig, do pretty much everything from top to bottom as far as being a charter guide on a boat. You know, I've learned some incredible things from Chris.
My arm's already cramping.
Yeah, me too. This is tiring. It's like you wear yourself out before you even hook one.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Not sure. It's like old bonehead, maybe.
Little bony? Big old bonita? Oh, whoa.
Angry little fella.
Yeah. That thing out, man.
Some cool colors, too.
Yeah, not what we're after, but it'll work for some extra bait, dude. All right. Well, we got the skunk off the boat.
Hopefully these things are hungry.
Hope so. I know I'm hungry.
Nice shot.
bro.
Queen snappers are fun. Queen snapper is a fun fish to target. Very finicky fish to target. When you know they're biting, or on these big moons, certain times of year they go to spawn, and generally most fish, when they go to spawn, they get hungry.
After a productive bite, Captain Brandon Simmons and Captain Chris Ware head out to land some swordfish. Broadbills are one of the most difficult catches in the Keys. It requires a lot of preparation, patience, and skill. On top of that, they're also one of the most dangerous fish to pull aboard the boat. So our captains will have to be focused. West Marine's Life on the Water, presented by Costa Custom Boats, is brought to you by Visit Lauderdale, for everyone under the sun. Scales, every degree of water. Costa Sunglasses, see what's out there. Reliant Batteries, challenge your limits. Waypoint TV, the destination for outdoor entertainment. And by Ameritrail Trailers, load, launch, relax. After a morning full of tight lines, Captain Brandon Simmons and his good friend Captain Chris Ware set their sights on some swordfish. Even when the fish seem timid, these two experts always seem to get a bite.
We're in 1,800 foot of water. We're dropping a bait all the way down there. We've got lights on our line. We've got a big 8-pound weight holding our line down there. You want to try to stay right on top of the line, keep it as vertical as possible, and keep your drift. You know, you're watching that rod tip. Any little slight movement is an indicator of you having a bite. You know, you can have a bite in the first 5 minutes or within the first 5 hours. You never know. So you really got to pretty much stay glued to that rod tip, because it's an easy bite to miss. And if you miss it, you're potentially not even going to have a bite the rest of the drift, you know. You can almost just sit on the ground and fish that thing.
Right?
Every little wave just makes this thing freaking bounce.
Bad.
It'd be nice if it was an east wind.
Oh, that's a bite.
That was a good solid
That was
bite,
a good
dude.
bite. Very good bite.
Got him on, dude!
Tight now.
Back it off a little bit.
Yeah, I give it just a little bit. Not much, but
Got him on, dude.
got them on, baby. When we get a bite, there's a lot of variables in it. It depends on the bite at the beginning. Sometimes it's a pile-on bite he's on there. You can explain it as much as you want until you actually go and learn the bite system. I would say that's probably the most crucial part of it, is trying to hook the fish up. And then we hold our breath for a long time. A lot of times when we come tight, it's like, holy moly, we got 1,800 feet of this to go. I'm gonna go easy. Ooh, that's barely
Just a little guy here.
billing.
Yeah, just grab his bill here.
There you go.
So seeing these young juvenile swordfish, it's a good feeling. You know you've got a good stock of you know, young fish, and you really want to take care of these fish. We don't like to pull them out of the water. We don't like to mess with them too much. You know, it's one of those things that, you know, you get these small fish, you want to send him on his way, make sure he's nice and revived, and let him get back down and keep on with his life, let him get bigger. We got one, buddy.
Got him.
Got him. Heck yeah, man.
Nice job.
All right. We'll let this one go. Let her grow up to be a big one.
Oh yeah.
Man, she's lit up purple, dude.
Lit up.
Beautiful fish. Whoa. Hold on tight, bro. Don't let that little thing whoop you.
Oh no. It'll take more than that.
All right.
We're gonna let her go.
Yeah, let's send her on her way. Nice. Sick. Got one.
Nice job, buddy.
Heck yeah.
The Florida Keys are one of the most diverse fisheries in the world. There are dozens of experiences to be had on the water and under it. For Brandon Simmons, learning how to get to the fish in any way possible has become an obsession, and he's not done finding new adventures.